Just got a location change for an upcoming project, and I may be doing a road trip here where I'll spend the rest of the week on the road. I picked up these footings yesterday because I'm going to build a new shed in my backyard to store things. I'm going to take those out of the van, but I may end up spending a night or two in the back of the van for the sake of efficiency. Not a budget issue. It's a time saver. And I haven't changed these sheets in months. I haven't been back here since, I don't even remember, March, April, May. I think it was May. Might have been the last one. So, quick laundry run, waiting on confirmation, and if so, I'm gonna get on the road in the morning. Well, clocked a 10-hour day today, driving just outside El Paso. I'm in New Mexico. I was driving to the California desert on the Mexico border, near Tecate, and as quickly as it booked, I got on the road 2 days early. They canceled the story I was doing, so I mean, I get to bill for my time and mileage to this point and back, so I'll spend the night here, probably go back to El Paso. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I was excited to do this one and vlog about it, so hopefully it'll come up in the future and I can talk about the particulars. It's been rapidly changing. I've been talking for about a week. It was like maybe trying to tee up all the pieces to put the story together. And I'm winded. Jeez, that's terrible. I've been sitting all day. 10 hours of driving with pit stops. I think it was actual, like, I mean, the map says it's about 8 hours of driving nonstop at the speed limit, but the speed limit through Texas is 80. And I like to keep that van at about 65, just so I'm not actively passing people. It handles a lot better, and the fuel efficiency too. And I think it's just easier on all the drivetrain to not be ringing that thing out at 80 miles an hour. So anyway, 10 hours it was. My back feels great. I've been stopping every 1 to 2.5 hours to stretch, push-ups, squats. Despite all that, I got gas just walking up that little footpath. All right, I'm going to hang a U-turn, and boy, I don't think I'm gonna hotel. I think I'm just gonna drive back towards home as close as I can get, and I'll just sleep in the van at a rest stop, which was my original plan for tonight. That way I'm not trying to get to a particular place. I can just drive till I don't want to drive anymore. I think at this point I'll probably just drive about 90 minutes and call it a day. .30, slept great last night. Did not need the AC. I'd say it's in the like mid to high 60s right now. So that's 2, maybe 3 nights in the van since I put the AC in, and I've yet to use it. I do need to make some mods to the air conditioner. It's just short cycling because it's such a small space. I think I'm gonna make my own air box out of foam core to replace the plastic cover that's there now. We'll talk about that in a future video. Purchased a few more accessories for the Burano. The Mauve Cam bridge plate I like, and I need it for when I need to run in cinema mode with my 10:1 Canon zoom that needs to run on a studio size bridge. And the pad placement balances nicely with the kit zoom or prime lenses, and the viewfinder alignment's pretty good now that I'm running the an extended NATO rail. But I found on that recent shoot with the governor of Texas military project that it's just a little bit too time consuming sliding on and off of a dovetail on a tripod in like an event or ENG type of project. So if you refer back to some of my previous videos, I purchased the inexpensive VCT shoulder pad that was sliding from Small Rig. It was way too heavy, I didn't like it. Then I bought the Zacuto, which was also heavy and awkward, but a little bit lighter. And then I bought the Ari accessories, which were really expensive. And while it was lighter, it added quite a bit of stack height to the camera. So several people on my channel recommended I try out the Rush Design VCT. And I actually did use one of these on a shoot, I think with an FS7, probably when they first came out. And I guess the story goes on this was Anthony Bourdain's TV show, the DP for that show was looking for a lighter weight VCT and had this machine shop design this ultra lightweight VCT with rod brackets. I'm not sure if the original one had rear lightweight rods or if it only had front lightweight, but now it ships with both standard. It's got Velcro on the bottom, which is nice. When I received this package, it was $650 shipped, and that included, I bought a second sliding console because they weren't sure if with the Burano and the screw alignment if I was going to need one or two of these. And then I was about to order a shoulder pad because I didn't think it shipped with one, but a shoulder pad as well. So it looks like it comes with a 1/4-20 and 1/3/8 tie down. And then also I've got thumb screws in addition to the stock, just hex nuts that are on there if I want to keep it lighter, lower profile. I'll certainly use the front rods, and I'm not sure if the height is right. They weren't really sure either for the Burano. I don't think they're the right height, but they should be, well, maybe. Okay, so we weren't sure if the screws would line up with the Burano with a single console, so I paid a little extra for a second one. But now that I'm looking at this, it does line up with two of the same size of either side. So you could do 2 3/8 or 2 1/4 inch. However, this console, the way it's slotted, a 3/8 only fits in the end. It doesn't fit in the entire slot. So you'd have to use 2 1/4 inch tie downs. Come on, focus. Which, as you can see here, they line up with all of the holes on the bottom of the Burano. So since I only have one of each size screw and I do have 2 of these pieces, I'll attach it with both of them. Okay, clipped into an RE VCT. I did have to adjust the torque screw on the back of the VCT. I had to back it out like 1/8 of a turn to get it to fasten, but it's in there nice and tight. No chatter at all. Nice and solid. So if I were to do a lens change and I want to slide the shoulder pad, it's just going to require loosening those 2 screws to make an adjustment. But so far with the Burano, I've basically been all day either on E-mount primes or one of my PL zooms or the kit lens. So in each case, if I need to adjust the shoulder pad, it's probably only going to be once per day or even per project. And you can see here the lightweight rod height is not correct. It's a little too low. You can see there. Or visual alignment. Next up, an inexpensive Neewer part. This is a 15 mil rod receiver to RE handle with a locating pin in 3/8, which is what is on the front side of the Burano. So I'm going to install this part on here. See if the pin lines up. Be right back. My plan for this bracket is to relocate the viewfinder a little bit further forward, so I get a little bit more forward travel on the EVF. That is specific to running PL zooms on the camera that are heavier than the E-mount still photo style lenses. So I'll be able to slide the shoulder pad forward. Like with my Canon 17-120, I think the CG for the shoulder pad ends up being right about here. And with the current setup, the EVF is too far back. I can't get my head in a comfortable position relative to the CG of the camera build. The viewfinder's been too loose, even with the thumb screw tightened all the way, so I'm adding a third washer to it in hopes that that allows me to get a little more torque on it, a little more friction. I noticed that it's more prone to dropping with the bright tangerine extension over the factory mirror box. Well, the amount of friction feels exactly the same. I think it's some kind of internal mechanism that creates the dampening. I'll have to research that a bit more, see what I can do to add more friction. Just tested the setup out on my shoulder, and at full forward position, even with the kit zoom, I like the viewfinder in this position. I thought I'd have to walk it back a little bit for the lighter lens, but with the shoulder pad slightly aft of the center line of the camera. I don't have a battery on there right now, but I like this fully extended. I'm thinking next up, to run my 17-120 Canon zoom, which is quite a bit heavier, I think I'm gonna have to buy an RE handle extension. I know mid 49 makes a few different lengths that'll bolt on nicely on the front here. So I may invest in one or a set of 3 of those next up, but small incremental improvements. I'm all about keeping this camera as light and compact as possible, but you know, obviously having the accessories on there that I need to shoot in typical doc and ENG style filmmaking, which has been my bread and butter the last couple years.